Hey guys, and welcome to episode 21. And in this episode, we're going to go through last week's movements. So let's have a quick look at the overall status of the portfolio from last week. So we were at 18,870 odd, and this week we have had a stellar week, just like we have had over the last month. We've hit highs of £21,000, which is absolutely ridiculous, and that's all due to one share, which we'll discuss later on in the video. So at the moment, we're at £19,500 at the end of this week. Okay, let's have a quick look at some of the movers. Okay, so we kind of cashed in Desktop Metals up at around 19, so made £700 on that. Took out some of my initial investment, which was about £3,500, so took out £2,000 of that and reinvested it in some of the SPACs. As you can see, I did sell GIX after doing some D&D, find out that it's not as big as I thought it would be. Sold that and then reinvested those into other shares. Obviously, they made a bit of a loss, but if you do your research, it's really important that it kind of gives you the belief and the commitment to a company. Once you've done your D&D and you go, yeah, this is for me, and it wasn't for me, so I sold. I got rid of it. I'm out of that position. And then moving on into the last few days, so I bought a share of Alibaba. I thought the share price is really low, and I feel like it will rise back to the highs that it was at 300 odd. So that's that. And then I did more D&D on AGNC, and I found out that it's a company that's shrinking dividends year on year. So I got out of that position. It's something that I don't look for when I look for dividend stock. I like the opposite. I like for it to grow in year on year out. So I sold that and I reinvested that amount of money back into the monthly pie. And that concludes this week's movements. Okay, let's have a quick look at the portfolio. There are some things that I want to look at. Obviously, the movers. So, as I mentioned, Desktop Metals hit highs of 24, which was fantastic. QuantumScape and Walt Disney also hit highs, so amazing. And QuantumScape being one of those companies where it's what my first company that I've reached 200%, which is absolutely fantastic. And these are the SPACs that I've added. I will make a separate video of these and I'll talk about them in a little bit more detail. So stay tuned for that. Okay, so let's have a look at Disney. So Disney basically has said that it will now aim to have more users. Is aimed for, as you can see here, 260 million users, which is more than Netflix currently today. Also currently has ESPN Plus, which is in the sports sector, fantastic. And they're going to release 10 Marvel movies, 10 Star Wars movies, and 15 Disney series. The series over the next few years, which is absolutely fantastic for anyone who loves Disney and the way they make movies. So it's all positive signs, hence why they skyrocket in price. Tesco, I really like Tesco. I always mention Tesco in all my videos nearly, and they've sold their section in the Asian market, and so they are now going to give us shareholders a special dividend. So maybe increase my holdings just so I can get a little bit of that pie. QuantumScape, I mentioned, did hit really high figures in this last week because they have released a new solid state battery, which was really good, really positive news coming from them. However, some news from Toyota also released about another solid state battery that they were doing research on. So it'll be an interesting to and fro between the two companies. Maybe we'll see what happens with that in regards to the future. And then last but not least, let's have a look at Desktop Metal. And obviously they'd done a huge run up all the way up to 24 just before the merger, and then had a bit of a pullback all the way to 16. For me, I did take out my initial investment, as I mentioned, and then I kind of let the rest run. And I did mention that it's a long hold for me. I'm just going to hold for a very long time. It's going to take several years for the company to kind of become profitable and then scalable. And once it does reach that, I feel like the price will go up, but we're going to have to wait. We're going to stay patient. And obviously now there's a bit of a dip from 16. So it possibly even go lower, may even add to the position, so who knows what is in store for this stock. But for me at the moment, I'm not really that bothered what the price does. It's always for me a long-term hold. So it's important to keep doing my research, keep looking at stocks and seeing what's happening within my portfolio. I do have 41 stocks currently, which is quite a lot. And maybe trim some of those positions back. And like I said, there's some of that I've just kind of put money in, like Pinterest just to see a punt, and then they're just kind of taken off, and I've just not taken any money out, and I just kind of let them go. So there's a few of those shares that kind of just let them, they're doing really well. So why would I touch them? So those are currently my views, and also I have to rebalance my portfolio at some point, possibly in December, at the end of December. So hopefully we'll get some of the everything sorted out by the new year. So that kind of concludes this week's episode. Hopefully you guys liked my content. Please like and please subscribe if you want to see more of my content. Thank you guys, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.